recording, charging, focused, jobs are going, click on that. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're keeping well and have had a busy week. There's been lots of EFL action again on Tuesday, and then there's been some Championship and Europa League games I think this week. Well, I think there's some Europa League games tonight. I'm filming this on Thursday. But yeah, it's been great to see some of your work being posted on the photography chat page. I say it every week, but it really is becoming a great community now, and I see lots of questions being asked on there and lots of common sense answers. And if you're not on the group yet, come and join us on Facebook, Photography Chat. No question is a silly one, and I say there's lots of help and advice on there now. And I started the group during COVID, as the members will know, and it really does run itself now. Keep an eye on it, jump on there when I can, and change the banner and that. But yeah, come and join us if you haven't already, and show us some of your work. Doesn't have to be sport, it can be landscapes, wildlife, portraits, whatever goes. Anything goes on the photography chat page. So yeah, come and join us. But anyway, last week's game. Oh, Derby versus Norwich. Mustn't forget, finally met Lee Canuke. I think that's how I pronounce your name, Lee. Sorry if I'm wrong, you'll have to tell me. But yeah, I've been dying to meet up with Lee for, well, months and months really, since he jumped onto the channel and jumped onto Facebook. And he's an aviation enthusiast as well, like myself. So yeah, we bumped into him at Derby last week, and I think we were chatting aviation as much as sport. But yeah, great to meet you, Lee, and I know you had a good game. It was Lee's first sort of league match, if you like, covering it. He's joined an agency now, started just like me, grassroots. He was shooting at Boston United and made his way up just like I did, and I know there was a few nerves, but I've seen you set on Facebook, Lee, and I know you did a fantastic job. You got exactly the same stuff as me, really, as you'll see in a minute. But it is a bit nerve-wracking, and I'm sure, like some of you guys, I still get nervous on the real big games, checking that you're on Wi-Fi, checking that you're sending out. And I know it was Lee's first game sort of sending out live, and I know he smashed it, so absolutely no trouble at all there, I'm sure, Lee. But yeah, it's great to sit next to you, mate, anyway, and what a game. Lee and myself were sat right in front of the away fans, in front of the Norwich fans, right at the divide where the Derby fans were to our left rear, and then the Norwich fans around the corner of the stadium. We had the noisiest corner of the stadium, definitely. Atmosphere was fantastic, and we had lots of giggles, and I know there was a few Norwich fans that were giving Lee a bit of stick and pointing at him, and then I just happened to look round and catch one of their eyes, and they were pointing at me, and yeah, it was some of the Derby fans, I mean, and yeah, it got a bit heated quite a few times in the game. Ended up being 3-2 to Norwich, and yeah, got some nice action, which we'll see in a minute. But bit of a controversial game really, because turns out no VAR in Championship, don't forget, and two of the Norwich goals, the ball actually went out of play before it was crossed and tapped in, or headed in as it was. So yeah, a bit controversial. Should have been 2-1 to Derby really, but there we go. Lino didn't keep up, and I think on one of the images the ball was about, I don't know, a foot over the line, and then he crossed it back in and a tap in. But yeah, controversial old game, but it was end-to-end stuff and a really good game. One of the best games I've photographed for a while. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the laptop and have a look at the set. Right, so got there nice and early. Got there just gone 12 o'clock, I think, so proper time, not like last weekend or weekend before where it was flipping 2:10. So I had time to go into the ground, and as you can see here, it was a really bright, harsh day. So instead of trying to fit the whole stadium in, I thought I'll just use the light to my advantage, make the rest of the stadium dark. And obviously on this image you can see it highlights some of the pitch, which was mown really nice and striped, and you can see Derby there, and I was happy with that. And then another one here just zoomed in a bit, and again bit of Derby. Now then, I sometimes mention about researching the week before your game or days leading up to your game, and on Friday, last Friday, TalkSport mentioned that the British Heart Foundation were making a big thing last weekend of every minute matters, and the fact that we all need to learn, and there's no need to be afraid of defibrillators. And Tom Lockyer featured in the programme, I found, and I thought, right, I'm going to make the most of this and help the cause. So as you can see, we've got Tom Lockyer with Every Minute Matters, and Yeah, it was quite. I think there was one stat. I think over the last 4 or 5 weeks, anyway, since the season started, there's been a poll running. I don't know if any of you have answered it around the grounds. I think it was something ridiculous like, was it 60 or 80% of fans would rather not give CPR for the worry of doing something wrong. And I think, like Tom Lockyer said on Friday on TalkSport, if you're in need of a defibrillator, you're in big trouble anyway, and you're almost dying anyway. So any help is better than no help. And these defibrillators, you'll have to let us know in the comments below if you've actually had to use one. They talk you through it apparently. I've never seen one in use, but they talk you through it, so you can't get it wrong. So yeah, it was, and I don't mind highlighting it on this video either. Yeah, because and I've never done CPR, and I've never had first aid training. It's something that I must do really, but a lot of us take it for granted until we need it. So yeah, and as you know, Tom Lockyer had a cardiac arrest last year at Bournemouth when he was playing for Luton, and obviously he recovered, and I don't think he's playing yet, but I think he's training again. But yeah, one lucky man, and it's all thanks to the British Heart Foundation and a defibrillator at Bournemouth ground. But anyway, yeah, so as you can see here, made the most of it and put the programme in 2 or 3 different guises on the ground, with Derby in the background on the corner flag look. Oh, and incidentally, I asked the ground staff if they minded if I stepped foot on the grass, because they look after these pitches all week, and there's nothing worse than being shouted at, like I did in my very first game in the Premier League at Southampton. I've been doing, I think you've heard the story before, I was doing Eastleigh. I've been doing Eastleigh for a whole season. While I was working my way up, I was allowed on the pitch, I was allowed anywhere. And then I did my first game in the Premier League at Southampton, and what did I do before the kick-off? Well, before the kick-off, 2 hours before, I wandered into the 5-yard box, and I was getting Southampton versus whoever it was through the goal net in the 5-yard box, and I got one heck of a rollicking from one of the ground staff. What are you doing? Get off the pitch. Ever since then, I've told the story several times, I have never stepped foot on any grass without asking the groundsman first. So yeah, it was only a couple of steps to the corner flag, but I asked. I said, do you mind if I just get this picture? I showed him what I was doing, and he was quite appreciative of me asking him. He said, oh, thanks for asking, mate. I said, look, I'll never go on anyone's grass. I know you've nurtured this all week to make it look spot on. And yeah, so always ask. Don't take it for granted to go on a ground's grass. I never do, and it makes me cringe when I see some people do it. But anyway, lesson learnt there. So yeah, I got plenty of guys who have made the most of it in the programme. And then while I was doing that, the referee came out, and it's nice. Sometimes I don't get the referee because I'm outside getting fans arriving, but I didn't get many, as you'll see in a minute. I stayed inside the ground and got a bit of the referee coming to test the goal line technology. So just walking towards me, holding the ball, and then just framed his face nicely, just in the net here. Made sure I could see his eyes, and perhaps should have been at like F4 really, because the ball's a bit soft look, because he's holding it perfect look with the Puma emblem there. But anyway, got his face sharp. If I'd have been at F4, the ball might have been sharp as well, so bit of a mistake there for me. But anyway, don't mind admitting my mistakes if you guys learn from it. And then just all 4 of the officials just having a chat, and again, he was just holding the ball up, so I thought that made a nice frame, and they're all looking at him, so they're having a chat. Quickly went outside to get the players arriving, the Norwich fans here waiting outside for the coach to arrive. So I've just got one quick one of the fans, and then Norwich players arriving, and I was quite lucky here. I was just following him, and there's the Norwich badge look in the coach window, in the front of the window, so I thought I'd use that one. And again, as you can see, I've got a nice low angle to make my subject bigger, and just on my knees there, and then a few high fives from one of the players. That's Norwich manager just coming in. He'd just done some high fives, and then he was just bending back up. And that's Duffy, and it's Shane Duffy just coming in, and back into the ground, then up the stairs, up the steps in the stand, just to get a nice high angle, and you can see how bright it is. Look at the contrasts. But yeah, it was a really bright day. Then I went back down just to get eye head level with them, just that, and then one of the manager walking off the pitch, and didn't actually notice that. What does that say there? That badge. I never noticed that badge. Let's have a look what that says. Just get off that. What does it say? Play safe. Yeah. Right. You'll see. I don't know if I've got that, but yeah, there was a play safe campaign in the programme as well. And I remember photographing that. Yeah, never noticed that. Just shows you if you don't look enough. But yeah, he had his play safe badge on. But anyway, bit of that, and then went inside, sent this stuff off, and then getting ready for kick-off now. Didn't get much warm-up. I'll not include that today. But yeah, handshake by the managers. And then, what did I say last week? I laughed at myself earlier. Well, I told myself off. What was last week's video about horizons and verticals? Look at this. Look at that vertical. Got it wrong, didn't I? So busy composing. I think I might have looked at this, and tried to get that level. And obviously that's not level, because that's my horizon. That's my vertical look, and you can see on the tripod. So massive error on my part, and again, I don't mind admitting it. But yeah, when I was looking at these and choosing the images to show you, I thought, I'm going to have to admit to that, and I don't mind. Yeah, so I know I mentioned about horizons last week, but like so many of you said in the comments, if you can't see the horizon, like I said, go for a vertical, because your verticals are going to be spot on. And look, I'm out there, just needs twisting around a bit. But anyway, we'll move on. And then just lots of different guises, different facials of the managers to go with any sort of story. So looks a bit of a reaction there, looks a bit worried there, looks even more worried there, nice reaction there, and he looks poised and he looks like he's in deep thought there. So I've got, and even that one really looks fed up in that one. So I've got, just in the space of like a minute, I've got at least 4 or 5 different images to go with a story there. So I was happy that I'd got enough of the Derby manager, and then just 1 or 2 of Norwich manager, just looking in, pause for thought, look, and then again, bit of a reaction, bit more of a reaction, and there's another one of the Derby manager there, look. So yeah, got loads of him, and then off we go into the game. And this was the goal scorer actually, so I made sure I sent. He got a hat trick, although 2 of them weren't real, but shouldn't have been allowed. But anyway, so I just made sure I sent plenty of him off, and you can see the contrast look. And I have had to bring the shadows out a bit. I obviously burn the background out, but I quite like that one. It's nice and clean. And you'll see in a minute, I said last week about doing referees and sending a portrait, but also sending a landscape composition, and thinking about where it could be used. And you'll see in a minute, one of last week's referee shots has been used again. And just thinking ahead a bit and thinking where it can be used. And always like these shots. He's placing the ball nearly outside the D for a corner look, placing it down. He's got his socks rolled down. He's got tiny shin pads. Look, they are getting smaller and smaller. When I used to play, my shin pads were about a foot long. Now they're tiny, look. But don't know what would happen if they got a good boot up here. But anyway, so yeah, bit more. You can see how bright it is. It's probably a bit over exposed there a bit. But anyway, sent that one off, and then another one, and then left this one in because it's quite a nice example of a stock image, really. Again, they'd cut him out, wouldn't they? But he's running, nice shape to him, ball on his toe. So I thought I'd show you that. And again, there, nice. That would work as a nice stock image. And again, there, just to show you the difference. Nice dark background with that one, with the sun on him. Sprinting towards me, lovely and clean background. Look, just needed a ball there, but I thought I'd send it anyway. And then always keeping an eye on the dugout. I always say that. And there's, I think there was a bit of a break, bit of an injury. So obviously players go back and receive instruction from the managers. And again, Norwich manager doing the same thing. Oh, now then, this is this is the Derby second goal, I think. And I thought I'd done my clock on the D1DX, but it's obviously still an hour in front, I think, because this has appeared too early. But we'll come back to that. Just a nice portrait shot of the Derby keeper, and this is always in. Well, there was a few stories in the news going back a few months about players ripping holes in there where the calf muscles go. Strange, but saw it, so I thought I'd capture it and send it off. One of the managers getting framed with 2 players. Quite like to compose something like that if I can. Shame he wasn't shouting or anything, but he's just stood there watching. So just manager watches play. Simple as that. Nice bit of action, heading the ball down. They'd just come down for a header. So that was nice clean backdrop again. And nice bit of action there. He had a cracking game. He was blocking lots, he was. Bit of a shot there, and I think he just tapped it past his foot. another bit of action. Went for a Pambler, not the best last weekend, but his head's sort of 80% sharp, and as he was man of the moment, thought I'd go get away with it and send it in. So added a bit of contrast and a bit of clarity to it, but just to sharpen up his face a bit. But yeah, he was just turning towards me, and as he was running towards me, I just hit that button with my second lot of settings for pan blur, and the same sort of button as some of you guys would use for back button focus. I don't use that, so I've got that button set for my pan blur settings. So yeah, okay, but not great this week. But anyway, look, he's back again. Look, blocking. He blocked a shot there, and I think, yeah, that's where the ball ran away. I think he tapped it away as he was going for a shot to chip the keeper. It went out of play, as we learnt afterwards, and then Sainz just tapped it in. I didn't get the tap in, but I sent it off anyway, and it was used in one of the nationals. And look, there's my remote, look. But yeah, Sainz tapped it in, and then he ran round because he was wanted to celebrate back towards the Norwich fans. I kept on him. Always keep on the goal scorer for as long as you can. He ran round the pit, round the post, and ran straight back towards me. Ran past me. Not much of a celly as he was running, but we've got two players celebrating here. We've got him celebrating here, and they're running towards me. So you know what's going on. And then bit of a gathering in the corner. All the Norwich fans celebrating. And quickly turned, because he wasn't doing too much, so I quickly turned and got some of the Norwich fans celebrating. Always good to get the fans involved if you can. And then back onto him. Now, I know I got up and started running to the corner, because me and Lee were sort of opposite the 18-yard line, and he ran to the corner. So me and Lee both jumped up and ran to the corner, making sure we didn't get in the way of anyone else. There was only about 4 or 5 of us there on that back line. So and a couple of guys near the corner flag. So I ran up to it and then bent down and just managed to get a few of him just celebrating towards the fans, which was good. And then, oh, there's a goal remote again of a save. We'll come back to that in a bit. And then he was walking off, and I stayed on him, and he turned round and did this. So always keep on the goal scorer, because you never know if they're just going to turn around and give you one more fist pump or something. And it can be the difference between not getting anything and getting something. So yeah, I got that, send them off. Now then, thinking about the referee again, I think I sent a portrait and a landscape of this one. And nice clean backdrop again, and that's that one. And then just turned around and got a bit more of the Norwich fans getting a bit rowdy. And now then, obviously, by that point, I think some of the Derby fans had probably been online, and they were giving the ref dog's abuse. And so I was just trying to get one or two of the refs with a little bit of a reaction on his face. I managed to get that one. I think he was actually talking on his mic, but he looks like he's a bit worried in that one. And this is Norwich. It must be, I don't know, I think, yeah, I didn't get Sainz's second goal. So turned round and got the fans instead. And nice bit of fan reaction there anyway. Always try and get something to go with the goal. And this one, so I got that one, and then I got that one. I've left it nice and wide. He's just raised his hand, and I thought that was a nice portrait of the ref. And look what happened. Got used on the EFL page again, so really chuffed. Always think where your images could end up. You just never know where they're going to end up. But anyway, yeah, so that ended up there, so that was good. More of the Norwich fans singing. This was 2-1 at this point, so lots of abuse being flown about, so there was plenty of photographic opportunities. And then this was the third goal, 3-1 now. Sainz again, far end, second half I think, obviously. This is at 1.6 crop as well, and it's good, it's usable. And back to the fans to get a bit more reaction. And Angus Gunn, the Norwich keeper, was having a blinding game, so just got some of him. And there you go, look, there's the save from a free kick. So that's the save from there. And then where was that remote picture? Can't remember where it was now. I've gone past it, haven't I? No, I don't know where it is now, but you get the gist anyway. Somewhere with the remote picture. There we are, look, so there's the save from the remote. And then there's the save from my 70 to 200. And yeah, it was a good save, and he kept him in the game. He did. This lad again, can't remember his name. Is it Shay? I can't remember his name now. Shah, what's his name? Is it going to tell me? Yeah, Cashin, is it Cashin? He struck from way out the box, and I know Lee was on him as well. This is on the 400, and I shot it, and then I just watched the ball hit the bar, and I thought, oh, if only that had gone in to make it 3-all, it would have been fantastic. But it was 3-all, I think, or 3-all, and it hit the bar and went out. And Derby manager back to just keeping an eye on the bench again. Derby manager with lots of reaction, look, getting a bit frustrated. And then there's the third goal, look, third goal going in, and just a tap in for Sainz, but yeah, got it in, and then more celebration. There we are, look. Again, it's well zoomed in, but I managed to get something. That's on the 1.6 crop. You can see it's a bit waxy, but it would work all right in print, because most papers only print at 72 dpi, I think, so that'd be fine if they needed to use it in print. And then we're clocking on now. Look, 2:30. So it was a 12:30 kickoff. So we're nearly at full time now. Just happened to look. I've been sending a few images of the celebration. Looked up, and there's the Derby keeper right up our end. And he did well, to be fair. I said to Lee, God, he was dribbling quite well. And Lee went, yeah, he was. I just looked up back into my 400, and there's the Derby keeper. He was dribbling it about, look, and they couldn't get it. And anyway, there was a corner given, and I think the keeper stayed up. But I left this one in A because it's quite nice. But B, look at those tattoos. I'm going to keep an eye on that next time I'm on a Derby game and just try and get them. 1969. I like photographing tattoos on the players. It does it makes a nice image. And referee getting lots of stick, look. So I made sure I sent that in. Angus Gunn making a vital clearance. He booted that into row Z. And yeah, he played really well. And then that's it, full time. So I thought Angus Gunn might be a bit of a story. So just got plenty of him, just celebrating with the fans and celebrating with the manager. And then one or two of the manager. Didn't look overly happy, but he gave a bit of applause. And then the hat-trick man, the hat-trick boy, Sainz. He... all his teammates were telling him, we're willing him to come and see the players, so he came over with his hat-trick ball and just a few fist pumps, and yeah, and that's about it, and that's the last one. Yeah, so heck of a game it was, and yeah, I'm sure now you've seen them, Lee. I got exactly the same as you, so you did a spot on job, mate, I'm sure, and kept your agency happy. And on to the next one, mate. I think you're back at Derby this week, I think. But I'm at Lincoln this week. Lincoln Stockport, I think it is. In fact, I'm back at Lincoln for the next 3 weekends. So that'll be quite good. Not far to go, so that's good. So looking forward to that. And as you know, born and bred in Lincoln, so it's my own team, really. Obviously, you guys know I support West Ham, but my second team is Lincoln City. But the good old Imps. But anyway, yeah. So hope you enjoyed that set, guys. Ask any questions in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, let's hope that this week's game is just as good, and I'll have a load more action for you. On the aviation front, it's been, for all you aviation fans, it's been Cobra Warrior the last 3 weeks, held just down the road at RAF Waddington. Myself and my work colleague Sam and Harry managed to get up there last night for a bit of night flying, because they're on night flying this week, and absolutely fantastic bit of footage. I'm going to try and knock that video up later and try and get that out probably Saturday or Sunday. And then Sunday, really excited, I'm heading for Heathrow, and I'm off to Greece next week for 3 days for exercise Ramstein flag. So we're going back into the Greek mountains on the Monday. Then on the Tuesday we've been invited onto Andravida Air Base. They're going to be plonked at the end of. We're going to be positioned at the end of the runway again for a bit of takeoff and landing shots, and then back into the mountain Wednesday morning before we head back to Athens and fly back home. So yeah, really excited for a bit of aviation action, and I will try and do a video. So for any of you aviation fans, that video should be out next week hopefully. So yeah, busy time coming up. But anyway, do let me know where you're photographing the game this week, or if you're doing anything else, portrait sessions, or pet portraits, or motorsport, or wildlife, landscapes. It's not just about sport, so let me know what you're doing. Post it on the photography chat page on Facebook. Great to see all your work, and yeah, get in touch with all your imagery, guys. But anyway, have a great weekend if you're out. Take care. Catch up soon. Job's a good one.